We're going to be doing a twisted plank to pike. Same thing as a plank to pike, but your legs are twisted. We're going to be at the front, facing the front. 1 white spring, 2 if you need to modify. I find that this exercise is difficult for a lot of people. So what I would do is I would teach it on 2 white springs and then let everybody know that if they're stronger or they know what they're doing, they can stay on 1 white spring. There's 2 ways to have hand positions, and I'll go through the first one. Your hands are going to be holding the side of the platform, thumbs on top, 4 fingers underneath. You're going to get up on your toes, legs and feet together. Cross your right foot over your left and then turn the toes towards the left. Now, because we're in a twisted position, my right shoulder is dropped lower than my left, so I have to square out my shoulders. Then on an exhale, draw the right oblique up and then breathe in as you slowly go down. What I see in this exercise is people will swing in with their toes, or they'll start to use more of their upper body. So what it will look like is they'll start piking, but you'll see that my shoulders start going forward in front of my wrist, and it's not going to feel nice. Keep the shoulder above the wrist and don't pike so high that you're going forward. Always keeping the shoulder above the wrist, and if you want to make it challenging, keep it behind the wrist, just like when we're up top in a twister. Now, instead of holding the side of the platform, you can have your hands underneath your shoulders, but it's a lot of weight, and I don't prefer my hands up top because I have wrist issues. What I would do, if we're working the right oblique, I'd hold the right hand to the side of the platform, and then I'll have my left hand right underneath my shoulder. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out again, and then exhale as I lift, and then breathe in as I go down. I find this a little bit easier because the left hand is under the shoulder. I've taught some people and they said that it doesn't make a big difference, and you have to remember that it's not a one size fits all, and you should try it, talk to people about it, talk to other trainers, talk to clients, and see how they feel. I'm going to show you from the other side. So if it was the left oblique, I cross my left foot over my right and then turn my toes towards the right, lifting from the left oblique and then breathing in as I go down. The less you think about your toes and the more you think about your lift, the more it's going to help you. I always talk about a fire burning underneath your stomach, or like a string that's pulling you up. Let's go into that different hand position. I'm going to bring my right hand underneath my right shoulder, and then I'm going to exhale as I draw the belly button up, and then breathe in as I lower down to the starting position. For your variations, we can do a couple things. Dancing Panther by bending the knees in and shooting the legs out. You can hold it up halfway and pulse down and up, or you can just hold, or you can go up high and then pulse down and up. In a plank to pike, remember that you don't want to go all the way up because it turns into a stretch. So you want to avoid doing something like this because it's like you're reaching over for your toes. So I think a good range of motion would be like 85% or 90%. If you need to modify, you can add a second white spring, or you can move your foot closer to the edge, making it heavier, which will make it a little easier because it'll pull the carriage in faster. If you want to make it harder, you can move your toe towards the second white line, and it's going to be lighter and you're going to have less support to pull you back in.